much. Boys, I've really been slacking lately with posting. I'll be honest. I'm I feel like a ball bag right now. But anyways, I hope you guys are doing well. So first off, I want to address something because I do want to keep up with this. I have to be more consistent with what I'm posting. So I'm thinking of doing 2 YouTube videos every week instead of one. And on Instagram, I want to get back on Instagram. Like I want to shoot and record some stuff this Saturday. This Saturday, coming Saturday. No cuts or anything. This Saturday, it is. I haven't uploaded in like a month now, which is not good, especially. But anyways, I want to set that precedent first off, so I don't so it's out there, so I can hold myself accountable, and somebody can also pin me up and be like, yo, this guy's such a he's like every other guy and every other influencer who just comes and says like he's gonna say shit, he's gonna do stuff but never does it. But anyways, I want to get into today's topic, and judging by the title, of course, you might have guessed what it is by now. The lesson is about ego, and ego is the enemy. There's a really good book, funny enough, it is called Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. And Ryan talks about a really good concept of how your patterns and your routines and your habits really affect your ego as a whole, and you cannot undo it just because you think that you can just turn it overnight, and it doesn't happen. Because a lot of times, like let's say you're doom scrolling on IG or you're on TikTok or whatever, and you see some dude who's successful, like let's say he puts up a montage of him struggling late in his life, and then he goes through this transformation over time, and everything's like chopped up, and he just becomes anything like it's done pretty quickly, right? But when you actually think about it, you're like, oh shit, I can do that as well. Maybe I can, I don't know, make 10K per month, the magical number, 10K per month, the magical number, 10K. Or I can get this, or I can hit this milestone, or I can achieve this, I don't know, your goal with your physique. It could be anything. I can do that in the next 2, 3 months. If I really just lock in for one moment, everything can be sorted, right? But when you actually try it, and 2 months, 3 months down the line, things haven't really changed that much. And you think to yourself, oh, this is just fake. Nothing's fucking working. So it's all garbage at the end of the day, right? Well, the reality is it's not. And it's not going to change in 2 to 3 months. Simply because, just think about it for a second. You're an idiot, firstly. No disrespect, but you're an idiot. You're not smart. And you have been in the same patterns, the same routines, and the same habits for the past 24 years. For the past 24 years, you were a set type of individual. You were this previous version of you that you don't want to be, this version of you that you are currently. You are this version right now for 24 years. And you want to undo all those routines, all those patterns, all those habits, all that programming, and you want to rewire your entire identity into the 2.0 version of you under 3 months. Think about that for like 1 second. Like under 3 months, is that going to be that easy? Is it that quick? Is it going to be possible in like 3 months? Fuck no, it's not. Excuse me for my cursing, but it's been a long day actually. I'm kind of pissed at some things as well, but whatever. No, I won't go into that. But as I said to you, is it possible in like 3 months? Just think about it. It's not, right? It's just not possible. In 3 months, like come on, like in 3 months you're gonna undo everything. Okay, there are miracles as well. Miracles happen all the time, big deal, whatever. I'm not saying God is not real or miracles don't happen, but realistically speaking, do you think you can kill that old version of you in just like 3 months? That same version that was holding you back for years, for decades, you're gonna undo all that in just 3 months. Is that possible? You're not even that smart, you're not even intelligent. How do you think you even deserve all that quickly? There are people out there who have worked more than you, who are more intelligent than you, and they're not able to achieve those results. They also have to put in a lot more effort and a lot more time to get there. And they're leaning towards it. They're about to achieve it, or they're in the path, or let's say their train or their life is on the track. It's headed towards the right station, but they haven't reached it yet. So what makes you think you're gonna reach there in like 3 months? Just because you saw some kid on the internet and it's gonna be that easy to reach there? It literally takes like, I don't want to sound like it's pretty masochist. That's the word, masochist, or I don't know what the word is, masochist or something. Somebody correct me in the comments, right? I think it's what it's called. But you really have to like suffer for it for the most part. In some aspect, not always. I don't believe the entire journey should be a suffering, because I don't believe that. And I don't think that, progress and development should take away fun from your life as well. I don't believe that. I think you should have a life where I wouldn't say balance, that's not the correct word, but you have a life which you enjoy, which is fun to you, and at the same time you work in that life so you don't feel burnout in the same instance. And most of the time, it's simply because you're chasing the wrong thing. Yes, you're chasing money. Okay, let's say you're a dude and you see, I don't know, some guy who's made money doing e-com or whatever. You see breast scales or whatever. You see all these influencer or whatever, and then you think to yourself, "Oh, I want to get to 10K per month in like 5 months." There are doctors out here, like doctors, genuinely, who are way more smarter than you, way more intelligent than you, and who have spent more time perfecting their craft. And it takes time for them as well to reach like maybe 8, 9, 10K. They haven't even achieved that in 5 months. Those geniuses, I mean, they have a good salary, but they weren't able to achieve that in 5 months. What makes you think that you can just achieve anything in like 5 months? Just because you deserve that? Or just because you think that the universe owes you something? Like, drop your ego for a second, mate. Genuinely, just drop it for a second and tell yourself, you know what? I'm not as good as I think I am. As much as you want to achieve things, as much as you want to be better, as much as you want to, be on this path of, mastery, as one would call it. At the same time, you have to realize that you're not that good enough. That's the first step to achieve mastery. The first step is to realize you're not good at it, and you have to tell that. And that is a difficult conversation to have. To have the result that you want, to have the life that you want, to have all those things that you desire, you need to make decisions which are not comforting, and also have conversations which are not really comfortable with you. And that's one of those conversations with yourself. Like, you are not that great as much as you think you are. And I'm not saying you should hold on to that belief forever, but be realistic for a moment and ask yourself, am I really that good, or am I just too in on my head? Because if I am genuinely that good, my actions would align with whatever I have, whatever I believe in. And if they don't, then I'm not really that good, am I? I'm not. Because if you genuinely believe that you're that good and your actions truly in line with your belief, then only you're gonna have a result. And then you can take feedback accordingly from it instead of just implementing stuff aimlessly. That's more important as well. But again, that's a conversation for you, not where I can judge. But honestly, I feel like a lot of problem that we have in life, and a lot of times we struggle as human beings, and a lot of times we think that we're not reaching where we are, is because we ignore timelines, and that's simply because of our ego. Ego is genuinely the enemy. Like, if you just drop your ego for like the next week or so, you will see changes in yourself. And I'm not saying that you have to limit yourself, or you have to play small, or you have to, not be your true self because others will feel small. I'm not saying all that. What I'm trying to make sure is you have to understand that, okay, I believe that I'm the best, but at the same time, I'm not that good. Since I'm not that good, I will always be willing to learn and always be willing to implement stuff from other people who have done it before me and who are way better than me and who are already there where I want to be. That line is really important because those implementations and those pieces of advice and those chunks of information and steps that you're going to take are only to be taken from people who are already there where you want to be, not from people and not from guys who've never ever actually been there. A lot of times in our life, what we do is we take advice from this guy, from that bloke, from the guy you saw at the gas station, or this guy from your class, or this person that you meet in the gym, or this girl that you met somewhere else in the cafe or whatever, and they start giving you random chunks of advice. I'm not saying that they're bad people, their intention is bad, but I'm just saying you shouldn't be taking advice. You acknowledge it, okay, understand, but at the same time, understand that you can just discard it. It's not useful. And that may also be taking, that may also come to the fact that you should stop taking advice from people who might also be your family at times. I genuinely believe that, like, most of the time, like, you're gonna have problems where your parents are gonna tell you to do some certain type of things, and they won't align with you. And yes, you acknowledge that. I'm not saying your parents are bad or anything by that chance, and their parents do want the good for you. Acknowledge what they have, but at the same time, realize that this is your life. What worked for them might not work for you, which is totally fine. Like, genuinely, I had this a lot with myself as well. Like, I barely do anything what my parents say at times. Genuinely, I don't really. I'm not saying don't listen to your parents. Acknowledge your parents. Your parents are nice. But I'm trying to make sense here is, don't take advice from people who are not there where you want to be. Maybe your parents, maybe your friends, maybe your so-called, I don't know, maybe your girlfriend or whatever, your boyfriend, your colleagues or your co-workers, whoever it is there. It can be anything. It can be in any situation specific. Like, let's say you're a guy, you're working a job, and your job is really nice and everything, but part of you just feels it's not something you really want to do for the rest of the next 10, 20 years. So you think to yourself, I want to have something which is a bit different from it. Let's say you want to open, I don't know, maybe a cafe, a chain of cafes, or maybe you want to open a surf club, whatever. Would you take advice from people who haven't done it? Like, would you take advice from me? Let's say I'm a guy who instructs. I'm a I help people how to ride horses. Would you take advice from a guy like me on to how to open a surf club? No, you wouldn't. It wouldn't make sense, would it? Simple as the case. Why would you take advice from other people then in that case? And that part is really important of that ego part, because this only entails when you ignore that knowledge and you only acknowledge the advice of people who've actually done the stuff that you want to be doing, or at least they understand. Rest at times, I'm not saying you always are going to find people who are there you want to be. It is hard to find those people because that's how life is, but I'm not saying it's going to be that hard. But it's also, you sometimes just want to talk about certain stuff so you can get perspective from people. I have a lot of guys I talk to, guys who are like elder to me and everything, and I wouldn't do what they're doing, but at times I would talk to them just to get a different perspective. A friend of mine, like, he works in partnerships and everything with companies. He's doing something which is really great, by the way. But I wouldn't do it if I had to. But sometimes I talk to him about some stuff that I want to do and everything, just so I get a different perspective on things, and because he's open to that. There's some people like that, which and their opinion you can acknowledge. There are people you can talk to stuff about. They might not give you the solution as a whole, but it still clears off your mind as such. So it's really important to distinguish between the two types of people you actually take advice from, and also that thin line that I explained between people who are just there to, you can take knowledge from them, like you can give, they give you your perspective and it makes sense to you, but at the same time, as I said, you want to get a concrete solution, but you don't need a concrete solution all the time. Sometimes you just want the other person to hear you. Sometimes that's more than enough. And what is life without people ultimately, right? It's not always about getting the next thing. It's also about being with people and just enjoying the moment with them. So that was the idea of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, I gotta start being more consistent now, genuinely. This is just me saying it to myself, like, you know what, Scorpius, you've been a bit of a ball bag lately. You haven't been consistent. Now that has to change. I'm gonna start spamming IG, and I'm gonna be more diligent with YouTube as well. So 2 videos per week. That is a promise I have to make, okay? That's a promise I have to make, and 2 videos per week. And yeah, IG is gonna get spammed, so if you want to follow me on IG, you know where to find me. So shameless plug, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.